Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this Monday's Market Sitrep. I hope you're all doing very well and that you had a great weekend and that you can hear me well too. Let me see. I'll just wait for a sound check from the chat. But let me just do a quick technical check. Yeah, everything looks good here as well. Yeah, sorry about that little pause between the countdown and now. But yeah, image looks good. Sound should be okay as well. All right, so I hope you had a good weekend and that you're ready for another week of trading. Last week was a bit strange because it was shorter in terms of the legacy markets. New York was closed on Tuesday because of July 4th, and Monday was kind of a short session. So for me, thank you, Paul. Thank you for the confirmation. So for me, it was a bit of a shorter trading week in that sense, volume-wise especially. And this week we're back to normal. That being said, we are in the summer period, July, August, where many people just go on vacation. So in general, the volume could also be expected to be a bit lower than usual, which means levels might not be hit as you are used to, or the usual reactions that you're looking for might not happen the same way. Yeah, so just a bit of a cautionary note, I suppose, or yeah, just to be aware of perhaps even more patience is required for trade setups. All right, let's see who is in here. Paul is in here. Good morning. Arnold as well. Good morning. Marius too. Hello, hello. And Crypto Incognito as well. So welcome everyone. All right, so the plan for today is to, I'm going to try to keep it to about 45 minutes or so. And we're going to start covering Bitcoin, as you can already see on the screen now. Then S&P 500 and NASDAQ pretty much looking the same for this week. Maybe a quick look at Apple. Then US dollar index, GBP USD I've got for you today. A quick look at gold, and then wrap up with Ethereum. Yeah, so we start with crypto, end with crypto, and we have the big juicy legacy markets in between. A Tina Turner present. Yeah. No, actually, she's not present anymore, but so rest in peace. But she was amazing, huh? She was simply the best. All right, let's get going. So you're probably wondering what the hell, what the heck? Sorry about that. Why is there? Why are there no lines on this chart? Monthly time frame. Who cares? I want to go in the 5 minute and start trading. Well, this is part of my process, and that's why I always start like this, because it reminds myself, or helps me remind myself, where are we on the chart respective to the bigger or the higher time frame candles, which are very, very important. And yeah, we can start then pulling some interesting pivots. For example, the June 2021 low, so now 2 years old, and a very, very important support area back then. Yeah, back then the new all-time high had been made at 65K. Bitcoin pulled back to this price area, and over the course of 3 months, it took 3 months, it built a local bottom here and managed to push higher again for another new all-time high, actually, before this down phase began. But now here we are again. Yeah. And so if we're looking at monthly candles, this one closed above, this one closed below. So that was kind of a whoops, got rejected. But June was, of course, very, very interesting. Yeah, June was very interesting because it blasted through everything that the past couple of months had done, managed to close up here. And July so far is holding up here. It hasn't moved that much. Yes, we are below the monthly open, so we could say, hey, previous month high was taken, and that was a very nice trading opportunity for sure. Monthly open has been lost, so a bit more bearish in the sense, because this candle is now red. But in the grand scheme of things, nothing too dramatic has happened. Yeah, nothing too dramatic has happened. I think I'm just gonna pop on my monthly levels. How about that? So these are basically the untapped. Well, that's not entirely true. One of them is tapped. These are the fresh monthly levels on the chart that are important for me. Of course, the ones that are very far away are not useful for right now. Yeah, it's not 45K. I don't really need 23K, 16K. These are all, way too far away. But if we zoom in a little bit, then we start seeing two that are very, very important. One can act as an important support resistance flip. Yeah, in this case, it's resistance here. And if we manage to backtest it this month, and it can go a little bit through the area, that's fine. But then the monthly candle closes above it. That's the important thing. So you need to wait the entire month for this to actually to crystallize. Yeah. I should. Mario saying, Victor, remember we are public today. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I have to be more serious than usual or what? Okay. Anyway, so revisiting this area would still be okay as long as the candle then closes above it, and you could say, oh, it's a support resistance flip, SR flip, and that especially if the month or July managed to claim the monthly open after doing that again, this candle would turn green, and that would be very, very bullish. Yeah. In that case, if that happens, then you can start looking, okay, where's the next monthly level? Then 45K does become interesting. Okay. So I think, did I cover that 2 weeks ago on the public stream? I don't remember. But the 50K Bitcoin idea goes through this process, which is going to be slow. Yeah, probably. It's going to take time. So there's nothing to rush into, and certain criteria have to be met. Yeah. This could be one of them. Yeah. If this area does not hold a support, in other words, not enough buying interest, then another very, very interesting one is, of course, a fresh monthly level. Yeah, that's always super interesting for me because it's a very, very strong level of support. So if I can find any type of other technical analysis factors that line up there, then it makes the area very, very interesting. Okay, so that's the monthly candle perspective, and you can already see that just by looking at this stuff, we've already managed to decipher a lot of things. Yeah, for example, previous month high was taken, we're below the monthly open. These are things that you need to keep in mind as well. Yeah, OHLC. So weekly looks very, very interesting because, do I have it in here? Let me see. No, that's a daily level. Never mind. Now I'll just draw them here, or I'll redraw them now. I think I deleted too much stuff again. But we have a fresh weekly level of resistance now. So the weekly candle story is a bit different now. Also, all the highs have been taken, or last week went beyond all the standing highs locally at least. And a fresh weekly level of resistance at 30,600 has been created. In other words, now we have a higher time frame gatekeeper for any possible serious upside, which is very good to orientate ourselves as well. And you will also notice that the next weekly level to the downside as support is not up here or anywhere in here. These are all old weekly levels. Yes, they've already been traded through. The next one is all the way down at 25K. That's, that you could say is the maximum extension from a weekly candle perspective of an entire huge range here. It doesn't mean price has to go down here again, but it's something that, we can keep in mind as well to see if anything lines up with that. Whoops. If anything lines up with that area. So yeah, there is a possibility of this rotating lower. How do we know? How do we not know? Well, for now, we have spent, after, this powerful week in June, 1, 2, the third week up here around the 30K area. So that's our local range. Yeah, it's nice to be aware of this down here, but it's also very far away, right? Not necessarily perhaps relevant for now. Yeah. So let's see. Let's go to the daily time frame. And now it starts getting more interesting because this can help us. So we know, okay, there's a weekly level there. We can also see on the daily candles that it was 1, 2, 3 quite impulsive days that did not build any support. In other words, if price revisits this, it can also move quite fast back down. Yeah, it can. But for now, we're up here. So there's your weekly level, the fresh one. Yeah, that's definitely something that we have to keep in mind for this week, because if we just view this strictly from a range rotation, I think I have this on Ethereum as well, and you'll see it also very clearly. And it's also quite clean. But if for now we're in this local range, so there's, in my opinion, when we're close to the bottom of it, there's no need to be super bearish. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. If you want to think about shorts, we'll think about them as high as possible. Yeah. And if you want to think about longs, we'll do it as low as possible. And now we have this is an already tapped daily level, to be fair. Yeah, so that's not one that would necessarily have on the chart. I'm just doing it now so that we can visually limit or give our range a little bit of shape. And this one then here is untapped. Yeah, and we're very, very close to it. And it has not been revisited today so far. So yeah, it's almost like a go-to move to say, all right, let's go back and revisit that. Yeah, that's just a natural thought when you see an untapped level that is so very close. Yeah, so that could give a possible reaction. That could be a possible trading opportunity, and not just for a local trade. Yeah, so approximately it'll be something like this from that low to that high. You can already see we've already hit the whole golden pocket and reacted off of it. Yeah, the daily level is just a little bit lower though. Yeah, a little bit lower. So reacting off of this is fine. A little bit lower, even better. Doesn't even have to be today, but you know, we're thinking about stuff for the coming week. Yeah, and this, of course, if revisited, this area down here is the bottom of this local range. So even though we're aware that there's more possibility for downside if this area is flipped to resistance, yeah, from a range perspective, this could open the door to, of course, weekly level. That's going to be a major pit stop, and perhaps the top of the range again. And all that, I don't know why it's drawing so weird. It's very annoying. Anyway, but looks like my hand's shaking. Anyway, the idea of this is that you just keep rotating the range. That's it. And we could spend all summer rotating the range. Why not? Yeah, would be fantastic, actually. So what does this mean, or what do I do in situations like this? If I do have a short from the top of the range and we reach, well, this was actually quite fast on Thursday, but if you reach the bottom, yeah, this daily level is basically a repeat from the end of June. So you reach the bottom of the local range, you take profits, yeah, and yeah, doesn't mean you have to long automatically. Yeah, that's a different criteria, but you can definitely take profits on short positions. No financial advice, of course. All of this is just for educational purposes. You guys do whatever you want and gals with your capital, and stay safe. Yeah, if you're not ready to trade, then don't, and just do a lot of demo account trading, and that's the best way to get into things. Yeah, there's no need to jump into anything. All right, now this is also looking very interesting. So for this entire humongous range, well, since the 21st of June, we have all of this as our value area high. Point of control is now down here. Very interesting, because it used to be up here as well at 36. So this one is now taking over. So there's a lot of horizontally speaking, transaction interest around this area. Yeah. Obviously, being above the point of control is more bullish. Being below it is more bearish. Yeah. But of course, it is necessary to be below it to reach that daily level. We can't really escape that, huh? But that's fine, because we had a very nice module on this last week about short squeezes, and this could be the preparation for one, for example. Ooh, that did not take the highs. Whoops. Well, then I guess we'll do it later, huh? Look at that. Let that high standing there. That looks like a double top. Yeah. So that's another heads up, or another reason to expect this to not, or this weekly level, for example, to be revisited. Yeah. But since first we're heading for this one, then let's go. So one more thing to add. Remember the monthly levels? That is our big SR flip level. That is our big SR flip level, or possibility one on the higher time frame. Yeah, the other monthly level is way lower, and it gives back all of this, right? So it's a different story. But this is also one to keep in mind, because just like, let me see if I have it here, previous month high, just like we had a swing failure pattern here of the previous month high. You see that? And that initiated the entire move back down, right? Just like we had that, we could have something similar down here. Yeah, there's also something to keep in mind. Yeah, you could just say, okay, is this a possible swing failure pattern? This is, of course, a different trading idea than long positions from here. Yeah, the long positions from here, if we use this fib retracement, they are invalidated if you take these lows, right? Because once you open this can of worms, of course, you could react here, or maybe down here. Yeah, so it doesn't make sense, in my opinion, to hang on to a position. Okay, is it going to happen now? Jeez, man. Not going to be able to trade this. Well, at least you guys are watching. Demo accounts only, please. Yeah, so that's a different trade idea, okay? So these are things to be prepared for. But one is a possible reaction or a possible buying interest coming in at this area, right? That gives us a possibility for a range rotation like this, right? That's one. And if that does not materialize, in other words, nobody's buying here and we're just crashing down, well, then be even more patient because that could be a bit more bearish, especially if it has a lot of firepower behind it. Yeah. So there I would be a bit more careful, but still aware that there's something interesting down here. All right. So that would be the downside. Let's see what we have to the upside. Well, I guess the simplest thing to do without complicating our lives too much would be something like this, right? From high to low. There's our top daily level again at the 786 value area high. So this is not lining up at all. The 76 and the daily is, but the rest is pretty spread out. Yeah. But of course, if you happen to find yourself in a long position and price has traveled all the way up here, for me, that's an easy take or take profit area. That's just me. No financial advice. Okay. All right. So let me have a quick look at this. There you go. We have not so quite revisited daily point of control from yesterday. So that could travel through it a little bit. That would be nice. From untapped points of control perspective, the daily one is way down here at 28.7. 28.7, this fits more the scenario of going below this monthly level here. Yeah, below the SR flip. Yeah, that would fit, it's down here. So it's not very helpful for the local range. Okay, that's just the way it is. Let me just have a quick look at the weekly for a second. Yeah, that's last week's point of control as well. One thing to keep in mind, if all of these points of control are above you, that's more bearish. If you have them as support under you, under price, then it's more bullish. Okay. Let me just have a quick look here. All right. Yeah, I guess there is a possibility of that 80% setup as well. The thing is the data that this is being compared to, in other words, the previous day value area is a Sunday. So that's kind of not my favorite, but theoretically could happen. Daily open outside of the previous day value area. So reclaiming that could open the door to the previous day value area high. Yeah. Not going to go too much into detail, but if you have any questions, just pop in on just pop the questions on Discord, okay? If any of this is unclear, I know it's a bit fast, but I'm trying to cover a lot of stuff very quickly. So if any of this stuff is a bit too or confusing, just pop over on Discord. So let's stop on this one for now, and let's jump over to the S&P 500. Also very, very interesting. And on purpose, I have left it like this with the weekly time frame. Yeah, of course we can zoom out and see that this has been on quite the uptrend since October, pretty much, and especially since since the beginning of the year, sure, but here since May, it has been able to push through an extremely important support resistance area, like probably the biggest one you can find on the chart in any recent times, arguably. And it has managed to blast through that. But of course, we're reaching very interesting levels of resistance. Yeah. But since we want to focus on the weekly perspective now, that's why I zoomed it in a little bit like this. Whoops, sorry about that. And look at this. This is like the perfect playground for a range. Yeah. You've got a fresh weekly level up here and a fresh weekly level down here. Boom, just like that. In other words, that's your top of the range area, and this is your bottom of the range area. Yeah. And you can even, just like I did here, you can even throw a fixed range pull, right? Containing all of this data, which would be since 12th of June. And it shows you horizontally where's the point of control. Okay, this is Oanda specific. So if you're using the CME chart, it might be a little different, but usually they line up too. And that gives you an idea of, okay, if this is a range, top of the range, value area high, bottom of the range, value area low. And we can see there's quite a difference between this weekly level and the value area high. Yeah. And however, this down here lines up very, very nicely. Let me see if I have it somewhere. No, I guess not. Okay. Then I would look at it like this. just have to redraw it. So this is the exact pivot I haven't hit here, but just to get an approximate idea, this is the golden pocket POC area. So you can already have a reaction off of this. That's true. If we are to rotate the full range, then I would prefer to hit the weekly level, of course. So if this happens this week, that's definitely an area of interest that I'll be watching. Yeah, that's a very nice possibility for long positions. Yeah, of course you can also go for the overall lows. Same thing as always. Yeah, same thing as always. This looks absolutely terrible. So pushing higher at some point would be fine too. Yeah. But for this week, at least, these two weekly levels are something I'm very interested in. Whichever one comes first doesn't really matter to me, as long as we are far away from the middle of the range. Now we're very close to the point of control, so it's like, yeah. Of course, golden pocket, I know, support. But to be honest, first of all, I would prefer the New York session to be online, which is not right now. This is all futures data, yeah, so low volume stuff. So I want the actual New York Stock Exchange to be open and for the transaction volume to be high, which can also be reduced in the summer. Yeah, once again, that note, but at least better than right now. So it's going to open in, what's now, 10:30 in 4 or 5 hours. Is it? Yeah. So that's the time when this might pick up some speed and numbers over here, numbers over there, conference here, conference there, whatever. A catalyst that gets price going, and it gets us to the levels or the areas where stuff gets interesting. Yeah. So also looking at this very, very cleanly, like a range. And of course you can add daily levels if you want. There would be one up here. The daily level down here is here. And you can see that this move up was without building support. So this move down can be pretty much the same. Yeah. That's why I'm more interested in the lower area if it comes. Okay. Yes. For the NASDAQ, it's pretty much the same. There you go. There's your weekly open, weekly level at the top, the weekly level at the bottom we're very, very close to, and it does line up with a golden pocket really nicely. That's your value area low, 786. So very, very similar concept. We can turn everything on so you can see it in terms of weekly candles. Yeah, they look pretty much the same. Yeah, this is the CME chart. You've got your weekly level of support, your weekly level of resistance. Yeah, so this week is really nice in terms of ranges, and try to get accustomed to these because insert New York sticker, most of the time markets are ranging. Yeah, so the better you are at range trading, the more consistent you can be over time, because you don't have to wait for a trend that might take a while to develop or to crystallize, and you can take advantage of these very symmetrical rotations, really. Yeah. All right. Quick look at Apple. It is opening gap down. So what? I mean, I don't have much to say about Apple. Yeah, that's your former all-time high that I've marked here from January 22. And yeah, look at this, man. I mean, since December, just up. Yeah, this is an uptrend. Yeah. So and look at this. It's a very nice example of a resistance level being flipped to support. Yeah, that's the former all-time high. Bing, bing, back tested as support, and off you go again. So this has nothing bearish about it. Yeah. If you want to flip this to bearish or make this look bearish, then it's going to have to look like this. Yeah, that would be a downtrend, and this is an uptrend. Yeah, and a reversal will take a while. Yeah, because this has been going for a while. This is not something that reverses in 15 minutes or in a day necessarily. So you need higher time frame candles to start telling you a story. And for now, the story is yeah, kicking ass, and anyone standing in the way is getting absolute 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months in a row. Just pure green. I mean, what a beast. My goodness. Yes, this month has been pulling back, but it could be one of those, pull back first and then push higher. Yeah, so kind of similar to Bitcoin in that sense, that you're trying to find backtest old resistance as support, and then you take off again. Okay. Weekly level is all the way down here. I mean, this one has been firing up like crazy too. So yeah, this is a good reference area. If you flip this to resistance, the former all-time high, then it might start getting a bit suspicious, yeah? Because then you're coming all the way down here. You're starting to change the daily market structure. So that would be a bit more suspicious. But for now, it continues to blast on. All right. I think that's all I wanted to say about this. How much time do we have? 30. Okay. Good. This one was interesting. I'm going to turn everything off for a second just so that you appreciate the strength of that daily candle last Friday. Oh my goodness. That just kept going and going and going relentlessly, smashing through everything. There was even a daily level, didn't even care. Just got absolutely crushed. From a weekly candle perspective, it took the previous week high and reversed like crazy. Lost the weekly open, big fat red candle, and closed below this weekly level. So it would have been a more bullish statement would have been to close above, back test, and then we could start aiming maybe for this fresh one. Yeah, this also has a fresh weekly level of resistance here at 102, but it did close below. I don't know if you can see it here, right there. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It is an area of support. If we look at from this perspective, that's your weekly level here. Ooh, wait a minute. Let me just try. Okay, it's a bit higher. Yeah, and that's the big yearly level that I've had on the chart for ages now. My goodness, you can see here already. Yeah. So for over a year now, following the yearly level. Yeah, so fitting. Because this is, in my opinion, the gatekeeper for very high time frame ranges. Yeah. So it is very, very interesting to see above or below. And as you can see, we've been dancing around this yearly level the entire year pretty much, yeah? Oh, I'm losing it. No, I'm not. Flip, go up again, come back down again, but just consolidate, push up again, back to it again, push away again. So we are noticing that the amplitude of this is getting a bit smaller, yeah? It is constricting price action or coiling up in that sense. Let me see, right? So we're doing something like this. So it looks like, oh my God, it's a triangle. It doesn't matter. The important message is not so much the triangle, it's the fact that the amplitude is decreasing. So that could be coiling up for a more violent explosion. Yeah, in other words, a more violent breakout or breakdown, which could have plenty of follow through. Yeah. So high time frame levels that I'm keeping in mind, of course, that fresh monthly down here, because I love monthly levels, the fresh weekly up here. And this week just started. Yeah. So I'm definitely interested in seeing how this week develops. But to be honest, it would be nice to hit the yearly level. Take out last week low. Yeah. Yeah, that would be nice. So if that happens, let's say it visits the yearly level and it gets a nice reaction off of this one, then we could start looking at the upper side. That would be, for example, my ideal scenario. But so far it's taking off without visiting. Oh, missed it just by an inch. What a front run. Suspicious. Front run equals suspicious. Okay. So how do we look at this, or how do we use the US dollar index for a possible trade setups? Well, you can use an inverse pair, for example, like the Great British Pound or the Euro USD. Those are my two favorite ones. And I just want to show you something real quick. This is an old weekly level from May last year. And it repeated also in May this year. Both resistance, yeah, but in June, blasts through it, and a couple weeks ago now, backtest as support. So this was a very nice, that's why I've called it this, weekly level SR flip. Yeah, right there. Very, very nice. And then last week, also another push towards the highs. So what happened locally? I think you can see it. I can even go down to the 15-minute. That's what happened on Friday, I believe this was. Yeah. So pretty late on Friday, which is a bit of a shame. I don't really like to enter new positions for a scalper or a day trade is fine, but for anything longer on a Friday, I really don't like that. So, but in any case, there it was. gets above the previous month high and pulls back. So that was already in itself a nice short opportunity, but whether it has continuation or not, we shall see. Yeah. So far, the momentum is bullish. As you can see, it's holding this value area high of everything since June as support. If this does not hold the support, then you start opening the door to the lower levels. Yeah, let me see if we have anything fresh. Yeah, we do. I think I marked it too. There's a daily level. Where's the weekly one? I think I made a folder about this. No, sorry. Anyway, I would definitely mark this one here. I think I have it on the other one. And then start playing with that, yeah? So I'm aware that the momentum has been that was your resistance to support flip, and I'm aware that the momentum is up, up, up. But perhaps we could start considering if this does weaken a little bit. Yeah, that's nice. Oh, look at that. That's very nice. So that could be a nice plan for the week. Yeah, but for that, this value area high needs to be lost. And so far, look at that. Resistance, so far being flipped to support. So maybe it doesn't even retrace at all and just keeps going higher. Yeah, and there isn't much left. If you look at the higher time frame chart, there isn't that much left to the upside. It can just start cruising pretty crazily, actually. So if it does get back into this range, then this area would be very, very nice. Starting with a POC 127, weekly 126, value area low, golden pocket. Beautiful. Very, very nice. You know? So definitely going to keep that in mind. We'll see if we get that. So let's do how much time we got. All right, 37. That's good. Quick look at gold, and I'm going to keep it as simple as possible. Yeah. This is a 3-year point of control on gold. In other words, based on all the data from the past 3 years, that's your point of control or your highest level of horizontal transaction volume. Yeah, that means a lot of transaction interest around 1929. Lots and lots. Now on the weekly time frame, it's very interesting because now it has created a fresh weekly level of support. Yeah, this is of course looking very, very interesting now. So you've got that as your support level, and you've got this as your insane resistance level. 1929 is the gatekeeper for any real upside, yeah? And then, I mean, claiming this, and you're going to need higher time frame candles to confirm this, opens the door to the upper part of this range here, or of the chart, really. Staying below it, well, keeps you contained within the bigger range here, okay? So that's a very, very key area. Of course, for day trading and scalping, these are just orientation points, but you can already, for example, even if you're on a lower time frame, you can already use this as your inflection points for your local range. Yeah, so this would be a local range that I would be looking at, and it has given lots and lots of trading opportunities. Look at that, from down here to up here. Boom, golden pocket 786, very nice. So it's definitely very nice to trade. Oh yeah, we were covering this on the opening bell last Wednesday, and okay, we went down to even the 1 minute chart, I think. So they were very, very short-term trades, but definitely an asset that is very fun to trade. So if you do have the time availability for this, I would say just check it out, because it's very fun, at least for me. So that would be the higher time frame statement. Yeah, that is the gatekeeper still, that 1929 area, and now it has created a nice level of support here, and this is your local range. So you can do something like, I don't know, yeah, maybe I'll take that one as well. Something like this, for example, gives you a nice yeah, look at that, point of control is now a bit lower. So these are both resistance now. There's your weekly level of support, and your value area low. And of course, add horizontals. Yeah, there's a daily level here at the bottom. So that's the kind of stuff that that starts making everything juicy. Yeah, I'll post some charts on Discord as well, and see what lines up the best. Okay, and that's something to keep in mind for the week, definitely. All right. So moving on to Ethereum. Ethereum I've left on purpose on the daily time frame now, and I just wanted to show you these two fib retracement pulls. Yeah. So this is the clean chart, and this is showing data from November 2022 all the way to now. And one fib retracement pull would be from this low to this high, and just to highlight how nicely this has reacted off of the golden pocket. Yeah. On the other side, from the high to that low that was made, same thing here at the golden pocket. In other words, you can definitely use these areas at the very least to realize gains on any possible positions. No financial advice as usual, but it is working very, very nicely and very, very clean. So from a range rotation perspective, this is what I was talking about at the beginning of the Sitrep, if you remember, that it's very clean on Ethereum. Similar idea with the weekly levels than as compared to the S&P 500, right? Weekly level at the top, weekly level at the bottom. So this is kind of a similar situation for Ethereum, where this weekly level is now our fresh level of resistance right there, and that's a fresh level of support. So these are two untapped weekly levels. Super, super nice. That's your top of the range. That's your bottom of the range. If you flip of the larger range, yeah, this is including since March basically. So if you flip this point of control area to resistance, then you can start thinking about going down here to a very nice area of support. Of course, keep in mind that there is a more local range that you can also use, yeah. And for now, Ethereum is in that range very well. There you go. Daily level. Look at that backtest. Wow, on Thursday. That is beautiful right there. I mean, man. And the same here. Daily level, backtest, boom, takes off. Daily level, backtest, boom, down it goes. That's just beautiful. Yeah. There's a higher one here that has already been revisited, and this did not provide such a nice explosive reaction. But from a more local range perspective, that would be your playground for now. Yeah, this looks more similar to what Bitcoin is doing now. So you can come in here, pop on your fixed range as well, and there you go. Yeah. So if you start seeing down here, of course we have the, let me turn that on again so you can see it. Of course we have the lower area as a possibility and a very, very interesting one. But for that, this daily level needs to be flipped to resistance. And as long as that's not the case, we can still play around with, all right, anybody that's going long is putting their stop loss here, their stop loss here, their stop loss here, the stop loss here, and the stop loss here. You know, so ideally, before any range rotation to the upside, you take out all the stop losses and then you get back above here. Yeah, same thing as always. I mean, I feel like I just keep repeating the same stuff over and over. But that would be, it's not a must, but it's a very nice way to grab liquidity in terms, we've made a video about this as well, about what this means, triggering the stop losses and then reversing. Yeah, it doesn't have to reverse. And if it doesn't, great, because there's something even juicier down there. But that's a trade that you definitely, or a possible trade setup that you can keep in mind. Yeah, based on whether this mechanic happens or not. Yeah, that means it's nothing that it's something you have to be at the PC for, basically. Yeah, it's, at least that's the way I approach these things. So what do I want to see? I want to see more movement. I want to see more volatility. I want price to get away from things like the VWAP. Yeah, it's too close to the VWAP now. I don't want it to be at the POC. I don't want it to be, actually you even have a little mini range here. I want it to be at extremes. Yeah, you want to see volume, movement, volatility, and ideally, if you're at the bottom of the range, bullish CVD divergences. That would be footprint statistic stuff. Also gonna talk about more of this during the week and post messages about this on Discord as well. That helps you, once you have your levels figured out, that helps you confirm the behavior that you want to see. Yeah. All right. Let me just have a quick drink and see if you guys have any questions. So I'm sorry if this was a bit too quick, perhaps. I tried to keep it as short and sweet as possible because I know you guys are busy and have a long week ahead, or a busy week ahead. But I hope that these ideas helped you get into the mindset that that I'm developing for the week. it's very important to make plans and to have an idea of, okay, if price gets here, then I'm looking for this. If price gets there, I'm looking for that. Yeah, this should be clear in your head. And even more important than that is, if price does this, then I don't want to be in a trade anymore. I want to close my trade. So invalidation, very, very important. Yeah, always have, like Marty Schwartz used to say, an uncle point. Yeah, a point where you say, okay, that's it, I'm out. Do not let a losing trade snowball into disaster. That's the worst thing that can happen to you. Yeah, don't worry so much about the wins. Focus more on keeping your losses in check. Yeah, so make your plans, make your own technical analysis, because everything that I'm saying and all my ideas are good for me, but doesn't mean they're good for you. Yeah, everyone should have their own plan, because in the end, it's your money that you're putting on the line. Yeah, so what I do or do not do will change based on the data that comes in, and I have other plans and ideas than you have. Yeah, so it's very important to keep that in mind. All right, let's see if you guys have any questions. Boom, boom, boom. Where are we here? Tina Turner present. Yeah, we read that. Today we're public. Victor's always game to bring the fire on Mondays. Yeah, exactly. So we have these sit reps on a daily basis, of course. The one on Monday we do for free, so that you guys have a nice plan for the week, or at least perhaps some help in planning your week. Do whatever you want, of course. Please know where I didn't write that. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, members are missing out on the inside jokes, not to mention the amazing TA. Thank you, Marius. That's very kind. Good morning, Harun. Pause and long, inserting your ticket. Doing good on time, mate. All right, thank you. Sam has a question. Hi, Victor. What is CVD divergence? Should we check in 15-minute chart or 4-hour chart? Or please, could you show in BTC chart? Thank you. There is a little video, a little public video covering CVD divergences. I don't know if you've seen that one. And there's a very, very nice example. And I think it was Ethereum, if I remember correctly. And it was very, very clean, very nice. And you basically want to see price doing something different than cumulative volume delta. Yeah, you want to see a discrepancy. And that discrepancy is the divergence. Yeah, so check out that video. And if you still have questions, then just hop on over on Discord and ask us again. It is something that takes a bit of practice to get used to, whether you check on the 15-minute chart or 4-hour. Personally, neither of those. I'm not using either one of those time frames to check CVD divergences. It's also important to decide how much of that do you use. So if you use it if you're comparing an entire week of data, that's too much for me. Yeah, I need them more locally. And to be honest, you can use them on 30-minute charts. You can use them on 5-minute charts. You can use them on a trend reversal template. And all of those can provide you with trade confirmations of the market, of the behavior of the market participants, depending on what you're looking for. So if you're looking for a very short scalp, a very quick scalp trade, then the trend reversal might be better. Yeah, or it's usually better. So it's a bit of that was the quick answer to that. But there's a video about it with a very, very nice example. Yeah, check that out and see if it makes sense. Otherwise, just let us know. It's all clear. Okay, good. Fantastic. Then I hope you enjoyed the sit rep. And I hope that you have a fantastic week of trading. I'm sure they're on. Thank you, Yusuf. That's very kind of you. Then spread the word, my friend. Well, as long as it helps you, then I'm already happy, to be honest. Yes, what else did I want to say? Yeah, Safehouse Racing will be active this weekend in Japan. So get in touch with us if you are interested in that. That should be a very exciting race. We have one of our very own traders and race car drivers participating this weekend. And yeah, it should be very fun. So that's what we're looking forward towards this week as well, yeah, on the weekly schedule. Alrighty, take care, everyone. If you have any further questions, the link to our Discord is in the description for this video, and to our website as well, successrepeated.com, and the Safehouse Discord. All right, just get in touch with us there. Take care. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great week. Bye bye. Tschüss.